I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a rang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.
You're listening to Pop Punk and Pizza with Jacques LaMore.
Hello, hello. Welcome to a very special episode of Pop Punk and Pizza. We are getting an exclusive sneak peek listen to a clip of a brand new unreleased song by an alternative artist who's actually signed with Atlantic Records. He's also managed by Wiz Khalifa. His debut album, Last Day on Earth, is dropping this Friday, April 8th. Let's please welcome SK8 to the podcast.
Yo. What's up?
So I am laughing right now because I have to I have to share this story because it's too good not to. So this is actually the we could almost say this is the second time SK8 has been on the podcast because I feel like we were probably getting close to the end, and I looked at my computer screen and I realized, I looked at my computer screen, realized that I did not hit the record button.
We were just all the way in it, man. We were just in a vibe, you know.
I was just so in the vibe. I was just so excited to have you here, and I completely forgot to do that.
Practice makes perfect, so
it does. And you should get an extra round of applause just for being cool and letting letting us redo this. So for I was gonna say, for those that weren't listening before, because no one was, you come from Nebraska. You were born, raised in Nebraska, and made your way out to LA. We were talking about how you were both into basketball, but also into music as well. What I'm baffled by is the story you told me about being 8 years old, and you wanted to play guitar, or you were learning guitar, and it was the instructor that said your fingers were too short.
Yeah, it's like, how can you tell an 8-year-old that your fingers are too small? So like when I was 8, I was telling him that my mom had hit me because I'm learning guitar now for like 4 months now. I've been really dialing in and trying to up my skills on
How is that going, by the way?
It's going really good, I've learned a lot.
What have you been learning?
YouTube, man. YouTube can teach you a lot. And then also I have some really cool friends that are really good at guitar, so that helps a lot too. They can show me little things here and there. But man, when I was 8 years old, my mom had texted me like, yo, because she had seen me practicing and stuff, and she was like, yo, like you used to play guitar when you were 8 years old, but the instructor turned you away and he said your fingers were too small. I was like, man, I remember like picking the guitar up, but I never remember why I stopped, because I remember loving it. And she was like, yeah, he turned you away and you were really mad. And
I would have been pissed too.
I was like, wow, so she was like, that was your first love. And then right after that, you started picking up a basketball and started really getting into sports. So I guess I got into sports. And then when I was 15 or 16, that's when I still was like starting to, go out to concerts and see a lot of shows and stuff. And that's when I really started to get inspired and drove, like really dive into the music side of things. And when I was 16, like my sophomore year, I went and bought you can buy like 30 blank CDs. So we bought 30 blank CDs that were, and then I just went and, just put them into my computer and downloaded each one, got a Sharpie and wrote on each one.
Did you ever wear out a CD drive from burning CDs? Because I did.
I hadn't, no, but I've heard of people doing that.
I've done it to the point on I think 2 computers that I just burned so many CDs of my band that it just said, "Nope, I'm not doing it anymore."
It just froze up, huh?
It literally said, "Yeah."
I've heard of somebody doing that though before. Luckily mine made it through the sophomore year of high school.
All right, awesome.
But yeah,
I
I was
knew you were
passing
special.
out
That's what it was.
I was passing out CDs, and that was like when I was 16. But I was still playing ball. Like I really had a lot of love for basketball too, and I was putting a lot of work into it. And that ended up getting me a scholarship to go play at a D2 college that was like 3 hours away from my hometown. So I moved there when I was 18 and went to school there. And it was a performing and art school also. So I was able to kind of still dabble into the music scene at the same time as playing basketball. But that's when I kind of learned like it was like I needed to choose one route. You know, I really wanted to put my focus into one of them. It was either going to be basketball or music. And that's when I decided to quit school and go back home to Omaha and just pursue my music career. I really wanted to just dive in and see where it would take me. And at that same time, I think like 6 months after, I'd gotten a really uh, great blessing. And the guys that we talked about, the guys from Vine, their names are Jack and Jack. They had
Yeah.
went to my old school. I transferred my senior year, but they went to my old school and where I was passing out CDs, and they kind of kept in touch with me and knew I was still making music. And they came to me and was like, "Yo, I would love to, make a song with you." And the first song we ended up doing, it's crazy that it's the first song. We went on YouTube. We went on YouTube and like found a beat and bought it for $600 exclusive rights. And it ends up, being a gold record, like before DSPs and streaming, which is like amazing. Still my
It-
biggest song to date.
It's a good $600 investment right there.
It was the best $600 investment I ever made, man.
Don't
Um,
don't waste your $600 on lottery tickets.
you feel
Just
me?
buy a decent beat.
Just go to YouTube and buy a beat, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that ended up paying off, and that record did so well that it gave us opportunities. They went on a full tour, on a House of Blues tour, and invited me out to open up. And that was when I was like 19, and that's where I really started to see all the traction on social media, and I was able to take that, and more opportunities came my way. Like I was opening up for Ray Shrummer, Lil Wayne, Big Sean, Travis Mills, and the list goes on. And I just like took it as like, if I'm able to leave this show and get 5 to 10 new people that are diving into my music, like that's good for me, And I was proud of that, and I've kind of stuck to that as I've gone throughout the years. Like if I drop a song and get 100 new listens, cool. That's 100 new listens that I didn't have before. And so yeah, that's kind of like how it started and how I kind of got into that scene. And I was able to stay independent for a while. And 2016 came around. I dropped a project called SK8, and that project led me into my first headlining tour, and we were able to do like Chicago Red Live. That was a really dope
Yes.
venue. We sold that
Mhm.
place out. That was actually
Yeah.
my first sellout ever that I've ever done for myself was Chicago Refugees Live. I have like a video of me popping Ace of Spades like on the stage and shit. I
Oh,
was
dude,
really
that's
dope.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, so
Reggie's
Chicago was the
is
first
just
one.
awesome. I'm
Yeah, it
glad
was
it
really
was.
cool.
Yeah, I'm glad it was Reggie's that you experienced because I feel like Reggie's does it right. So
They definitely do. So Reggie's was my first one. We sold out the Roxy and a couple other shows, and we went all across the U.S. and it was a really good tour. It was really cool to just see that core fan base that was showing up and showing support. And after that tour was kind of when I was like, okay, whoa, I got a lot. I feel like I've done everything, not everything, but most everything I could independently, and I wanted to, it's like you put all that work in when you're playing sports, and then it's like, okay, well, it's time to go to the league, right? Like I gotta get drafted or something, right? So that was kind of my mentality after I did all that, and that's when I started putting my feelers out to find somebody that could help me start my label, because that was always a dream for mine too, was to start my own label and then have an imprint underneath. You know, if I needed to have an imprint underneath for a larger label, then that could happen. But really, I just wanted to start my own label. So we started. I linked up with James McMillan, and shout out to him. And we started my imprint called Alignment Records. And then we took that deal and we kind of like surfaced around to different major labels, and ended up underneath Atlantic as a joint venture. So that's kind of how the label situation got started. And then at the same time, I was like, damn, I got this label. Who's gonna help me like manage this shit? You know, like it's just me and my homeboy, like, you know. So um, at the same time too, though, I just got in the studio with Wiz. So that's how I met Wiz, was through Ricky P. He's a producer on Taylor Gang. And we were in the studio till like late, like 4 a.m. And it was crazy because we were getting ready to leave. You know, we were getting ready to leave the studio. And he was like, yo, Wiz is about to pull up. You trying to stay? And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to
I
leave.
I
Like,
am now.
yeah, I'm staying now. Like, so Wiz pulled up and he was listening to some of the stuff that we had just made. He's like, yo, this is hard. Like, this is dope. Let's, you trying to cook up? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And he started playing some sledge drum beats. And after that, I was really, really rocking with one. And he's like, you like that? And I'm like, yeah, that's hard. And he's like, all right, shit, hop in the booth. So I hopped in the booth. I laid the hook down, and he laid his verses down. And that was like the first time I met Wiz and like really like vibed out and made some music. And then after that, he just kept inviting me back to the studio, and we just kept working. And at the same time, I was still trying to find that manager. You know, I still hadn't found my manager because I wanted to find the right fit. And Will the Zombie came into the picture, and he started pulling up to the studio sessions. Um, and he just enjoyed what was going on and liked the energy. And I also liked the energy that was going on. And I felt like it was the right fit, and that they knew like where I wanted to go with my music and how I wanted to maneuver the business side of things. So we ended up inking that deal probably around the same time I started my label. It was kind of around the same time, about 3 years ago. And then Will and Wiz started managing me, and it's been really good. We're getting ready. We're gearing up for that my new project called Last Day on Earth, and it's a mixture of alternative and trap and pop punk. So I'm really excited about it.
So, what was one of the main things you've learned from, Wiz or even some of the other artists that you've opened up for? What are some of the things you've taken away from them that you've applied to your career?
Yeah, I've learned a lot, man. Just even watching, like I've done 2 tours now, summer tours with Wiz, and you know his summer tours are always like big with Live Nation. Like he'll do him and French Montana and Moneybagg Yo, or him and Ray Shremmerd was the year before that, and a couple other artists. Like he always does really really dope like festival like tours during the summer.
Right, they're
So I
usually
was
pretty big.
yeah, I was really blessed to get on 2 of those and open up. And I just learned a lot, just even just by watching him just be on stage, learning like stage presence and how to control a crowd. And and that taught me a lot into my shows on just how to like, you know, really engage the crowd and take over a crowd, you know. So that was one of the main things that I learned from him and from other artists. Um, and you can learn a lot just from, you know, it seems cliche, but like they say, it's just like listening. My fault, I froze up for a second.
No, you're good.
Just listening, you know, to people and what they say before you talk, and just kind of like, you know, read things. And I learned a lot from that. Even being in the studio, like Wiz would make a song in he can make a song in 10 minutes, like, you know. And then on top of that, just like he's in the studio every day. So that taught me too, like, okay, he has all these accolades, he has all these plaques, he has all this success, and yet he's in the studio every single day, you know? So that put fire in me, like, man, like I don't even have that much success. I need to be in the studio every day. And I think that was something that like I was really, really taught by too, even just like other artists too. Like these artists, they got so much success, but they're still in the studio every single day. So how can you think that you could put in less work when they've already done these things and they're in the studio every day? So those were two main things that I really learned, was the stage presence and how to control the crowd, and then also just the work ethic.
Yeah, heard from many different people that you have to write a song, at least one song a day
Yeah,
to
at
yeah,
least,
that
man.
yeah, that's I've heard that many times. Writing one song a day really helps, I guess,
And then, and yeah, and then,
keeping things flowing or just improving upon your craft.
yep, yep. I was gonna touch on top of that. It's just like going in and doing that is going to. I live by this rule, 10,000 hours. I don't know if you heard it or watched the video, but like, if you put in 10,000 hours, supposedly you will become a professional at what you do, no matter what it is. So I really stuck to that, and wanted to just wake up and put those hours in, and knock down those barriers, because I saw I it's like, if you work every day, there's no way you can go this way. You may go like this for a little bit, but eventually, you got to go like this.
Yeah,
So
it's
I just
doing something for you, whether you see it now or
what
later,
whether
you
it's
know.
a hundred new fans or one new fan, that went up though. So that's kind of what I live by.
Exactly. I love that mentality. So where does pop punk come into the picture for you and specifically your debut album Last Day on Earth?
Yeah, so my influences growing up, like I was huge Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm still to this day, like, would love to get in the studio with them. They were a huge inspiration for me. Nirvana was a huge, huge. Kurt Cobain was like huge legend to me. Um, Obviously, I had my hip hop phase where I was listening to everything hip hop, and then the pop punk phase during the 2000s, like that was by default. Just being in Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, that was playing everywhere, at all the bars, on all the radios. So I was kind of just a combination of all of those genres, and that's kind of how we formed this new sound that I'm dropping here in next week. I had Rook, who is MGK's drummer. He's actually very, very talented as a musician, also not just on the drums. He can really like write great songs. He can really play great guitar. So we started getting in the studio, and it kind of started just like, yo, let's let's think of like our favorite songs that we used to listen to, and or that we still listen to, and try to remix them. And that's how it started, with just remixing like old school songs. And then it started forming in, okay, I want to make a whole album that has all live instruments, all live drums, all live bass guitar, and all live lead guitar. And that's kind of like how it started moving into that direction. And now we have, obviously Good Charlotte is on the record, Sum 41 is on the record, New Pop Punk, Swaco is on the record. And then obviously the hip hop side, we got Wiz Khalifa on there, and Dubs are on there, and Rook. So I'm super excited to drop this one. It feels special, and it feels very, very authentic to me and my sound.
It's a collaboration of everything, and that's what is hot. And I'm glad that it's working out for you. And I think it's what we were talking about earlier. It's interesting. I feel like it's comparable to the new metal phase, except this is like new pop punk, where you're taking
Yeah.
rap and hip hop and things like that and influencing it into pop punk. And I think um,
Yeah,
I
because we were saying Fred Durst. Fred Durst is like, he was rapping on there. Linkin Park, they were rapping on their beats. It just the the instruments took over more, so it was like, that's rock. You know what I
yes.
mean? Because it sounds like rock, but really, man, there was a lot of influences in between. I can definitely see.
What do you think is kind of brought around this this influence of this new pop punk and a lot of um, like uh, solo artists such as yourself are coming up to bat to
Yep.
kind of surface this new wave? What do you think has
Um,
started, or why do you think
I
that's happening?
I think there's multiple things. I think there's multiple people that are tapping into the genre, one. And I don't know if, this sounds cliche again, but like everything comes full circle, I think
Yeah.
people want like I can even just read the comments when I go to my YouTube and it's like, oh, I'm 32 and I love this music. Like I used to fucking this reminds me of my past. This reminds me of the 2000s. Oh wow, this brings me back to my, you know what I'm saying? So that's really good to see that like, people want to hear that one, because I think there was just in the mainstream, something takes a hold and then everybody kind of follows a wave, And I think even me, I was doing a lot more hip hop too, and I was very influenced by it. But I think it's now for me, it was just like I want to dive into who I am as a person and how that's gonna sound and reflect on a song. And using live guitars, like we've started a lot of songs that were just strictly just like, yo, start a riff, like start playing a riff, and I just start singing to that, and it builds into something just so great and great sounding. So but I think there's multiple influences. There's multiple people that are in the genre right now that I think are influencing it, and I think people are just like, I really believe that there's a group of people out there, a large group, obviously, that you know don't want to just keep listening to the same shit. They want to hear stuff that sounds different. They want to hear stuff that sounds like their old stuff. They want to hear all those influences that we've all grown up on and been inspired by. So I think that's what's happening, and I think that's why people are showing a lot more love to it because they want to hear it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. You mentioned Sum 41 earlier being a part of the record, and that's actually the clip of the song we have is the one that has Derek from Sum 41 on it. So you want to introduce the
Yeah.
clip? Let us. So what exactly is the premise behind this song?
Yeah, so Shooting Star is the name of the record. And a little side story, which is really, really cool and I'm super proud of, is so we first linked via FaceTime. One of my good friends, Kamiko, who actually works at the label, she actually got us on a FaceTime. And for like the first 15 minutes, we were kind of just chopping it up, like kind of how we are, just like asking each other what we were influenced by, what we listened to, and that was really cool to just like get to know him first. And then after that, obviously, we dove into the music, and I had a few songs that I had in mind already that I wanted to send to him. So I sent him like three different ideas, and I was like, "Yo, if you want me to, open up any verse or hook or whatever, just let me know." And he ended up sending me back the Shooting Star record, like, "Yo, this is the one. This is the one I want to do." And I was like, all right, cool, sick. Do you want me to like open like a verse for you? Because it was already finished. I was like, I can open any verse, any hook, whatever you want to do. He was like, I want to sing that hook, like your hook. And I was like, you want to sing my hook? Like, you sure? Like, and he's like, yeah, dude, I want to sing your hook. And I was like, wow, that was awesome. So that was a really like proud moment for me, and
Yeah,
that felt really cool.
that's super
Um,
flattering.
yeah, and then to just hear what he did to it is like, whoa, you know what I mean? So that was cool. We sent him the stems and he really broke that down. And we just actually got back a week ago and shot the video in Vegas, and it came out really, really dope. So I'm super excited for that. But yeah, Shooting Star featuring Sum 41, Derek's on the hook. We can roll that right now if you want.
Yeah, all the shit you put me through. Fuck it, I can't stay with you. Shooting stars straight to the heart. Lips apart, falling too far. Yeah, I hate that I wasted it all for a shooting star straight to the heart.
It's straight through my brain, more or less. It's gonna be stuck
Shooting
in my head the rest of
stars.
the day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be stuck through the brain, huh?
Yeah, it
Screw
really
this
is.
guy,
It's
dude.
such a great hook, and it's so cool that Derek was like, "No, like your hook is amazing. I want to sing that," you know.
Man, I can't believe it.
So yeah, that's just a
But it
what
came out really dope. He killed it, man. It sounds
it
like, and
did.
that was the thing about even the Good Charlotte song. Like these guys really like gave me that 2000s pop punk, you know? Like they didn't give me like some just shit. Like they really like they gave me that stuff, and it really is. It's good to see it finally coming out because I've been working on this project since like damn near since COVID really started the quarantine. So like it's been a while, at least a
Couple of
couple of
years.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to finally get this out, and all the features are just like perfect, and everything is really coming together, and I'm super excited to drop it.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear the full record, which once again, Last Day on Earth, it'll be out this Friday, April 8th. And then of course, I'm sure Skate you'll be playing festivals and
Oh yeah.
shows
Oh
at
yeah.
some
Oh,
point this year. You mentioned you're actually having a release show.
yep. If anybody of the listeners are in LA, we're having a release show. That's going to be in LA. If they want to, come tap in, I'll be posting something up that has the information for that. So we would love to have you come out and hear the music right before. It's the day before it drops, so that could be really cool. If anybody's in LA, man, come through, show some love.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you can clue us in on with
Yeah, like obviously be on the lookout for we've been discussing with a couple different artists. I want to go out with either a band or an artist to start off right when I drop, open up for them, and then obviously we'll do our own tour to follow right after that. So definitely be on the lookout for a tour right after the project drops. I'm gonna just stay on the road and just perform this music because it's so we actually did you've heard of emo night.
Yes, and you did like a leg of that, right?
Yep,
Or did you
yep.
do more than a leg?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did a leg. It was like 9 shows, and it was really really cool just to see the people's reaction to the music without them knowing it. We've been at like my cameraman joked about it. He was like, this guy, he's like, I had this guy out there saying like, yeah, I know this song. And he's like, no, you don't. And he's like, no, no, I know this song. It was the Good Charlotte song. He's like, no, 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 I know this song. He's like, no, you don't, bro. Like, you don't know this song.
That's
So
awesome.
it's cool to see that people really like rocking with the music, especially before they know it. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited to get on the road, and this is like, this is the music that you want to hear like on stage, live band, and I always bring a live band with me, and yeah, I guess just Last Day on Earth, April 8th, you know,
And
and
hopefully
yeah,
maybe you'll be playing guitar at some of these shows by
come
then, you
on,
know.
that would be the goal. That's the goal right now. So.
Awesome, man. Well, I hope that works out for you. I also don't have very long fingers, and I'm a guitar player too, so
Oh, you play
I
guitar then? Okay.
I do play guitar. Yeah, I'm not the greatest guitar player, but
You don't have to be. Kurt Cobain told us that, right? Didn't he?
it's true.
He
It's
was like,
very
"Man,
true.
I don't even play or sing very good."
Yeah,
That was the one
that's
thing I loved about Kurt. He was always like, "Man, like I can't even play guitar that good. Like I don't even sing good."
yeah. He's
So it's
right. Yeah, he
inspiring.
was very blue collar, I guess you could say. Very down to earth, you know. Um, so hopefully next time, let me know next time you're coming through Chicago.
Yeah,
We
come out.
can make up for our pizza loss. We had shipped pizza out to Skate, and it
And now somebody's
someone
eating it.
took it. Yeah,
Yeah,
someone.
somebody's eating, enjoying my Chicago pizza in LA
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, so I hope someone's enjoying that Lou Malnati's, or I hope you enjoyed that Lou Malnati's. But yeah, next time we'll uh we'll make that
Yeah,
happen.
for sure. I'll hit you up. We'll get your information, and anytime I'm in Chicago, definitely pull up to a show or bring some pizza for sure.
Awesome. Well, Skate, thank you so much again for doing this, and I'm really excited to hear the full record when it comes out this
Thank you
Friday.
again, man. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks for being patient with me as well.
Always.
So appreciate that. So you have a great rest of the night.
All right, you too, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a rang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice